So now, dear delegates, already before, of course, but now I'm particularly pleased to greet everyone here at this 69th FIFA Congress. However, before we start with the Congress business and proceed with the agenda of the 69th FIFA Congress, we should make sure that all technical functions are working properly. So I would like to hand over to Fatma, the Secretary General, to test the electronic voting system. Please, Fatma.
Thank you, President. Good morning, dear delegates. For the e-voting system, you have three possibilities. Press 1 to endorse the motion. If you disagree, press no, or abstain for abstention, or if you don't want to vote. You have 15 seconds to validate your vote, and always please press the submit button. And once you press the submit button with the system, there is no way back. You cannot correct your answer. So let us run the first test, and with a question: is France hosting the 69th FIFA Congress? You have to press yes, no, abstain, and submit. Then now, first question. So the vote is starting now. 15 seconds. Let's now wait for the vote. The vote is closed. Let's run the second test vote. So yes, 169, and 3 no. They are maybe still in Russia. Okay, let us try.
Wake up.
No, I'm sure they're all up. The night was short, but it's fine. We're gonna do a second test because we don't want really to have 211 answers, please. And the most difficult part I know is to press the submit button. So yes, if you agree, no if you disagree, and abstain for abstention, and always submit. You have 15 seconds to validate. Let us pass on to question number 2. Is the FIFA Women's World Cup 2019 taking place in France? 15 seconds. Let's go. Vote is closed. Let's wait for the result. Much better. 171 yes and 6 no. The system does work. So the President, the floor is back to you.
Okay, it seems that the electronic voting system is indeed working, even if there are few still probably on the coffee or sleeping, but I think we should start and wake up everyone. So let's start with a short video to get you in the right mood, please.
Terrific goal. range effort from Lloyd. Oh my goodness! One of the most incredible goals you're ever likely to see.
Beautiful, beautiful images of football and a beautiful country. Cher Président du Comité international olympique, lieber Thomas.
President of the International Olympic Committee.
Presidents, Vice Presidents, General Secretaries of the 211 FIFA member associations, dear Vice Presidents, Council members, dear guests, dear members of the media, chers amis, bienvenue. Dear friends, welcome. Liebe Freunde, willkommen. Cari amici, benvenuti. Queridos amigos, bienvenidos. Caros amigos, bem-vindos. Ahibai, ahlan wa sahlan. Eid Mubarak. Welcome to everybody, and it is a great pleasure to have you all here with us today for this 69th FIFA Congress in Paris. Paris, which is a very important city for FIFA, because it's a city where FIFA was founded 115 years ago. The first FIFA Congress took place here in Paris. The first FIFA headquarters were here in Paris. And this Congress is, of course, an important Congress because it is also an electoral Congress. But it is also a football Congress because it is a Congress which is taking place at the eve of the kickoff of the Women's World Cup, the best Women's World Cup ever, which we will organize all together with the French Football Federation here in France from the 7th of June to the 7th of July. Alors merci à la France de nous accueillir.
France for welcoming us.
Merci à la France d'accueillir
Thank
le
you
monde,
to France
d'accueillir
for
le monde
welcoming
entier.
the whole world,
Aujourd'hui à Paris, d'accueillir
for
le
having
monde
us
entier.
all here with you in
Le prochain
Paris,
mois pour
and today and for the next month for the Women's World Cup, so that we can celebrate, as we should, this wonderful game, the beautiful game that is football. We're delighted and proud to be here, and we would like to thank you for this welcome.
At this moment of the Congress, we would like as well to remind and to remember those who unfortunately and sadly have left us in the last year. And I would like to ask all of you to stand for a minute of silence, reminding at the beginning a very sad news that we received this morning. Lennart Johansson, the FIFA Honorary Vice President, former UEFA President and my first President at UEFA, sadly passed away this night. So let's stand and keep a minute of silence. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you. Our thoughts are with their families and friends. Et maintenant, pour ouvrir
Now, to
le Congrès,
open
souhaiter
the
également la
Congress
bienvenue, j'aimerais
and to welcome you also, I'd like to ask the President of the French Football Federation, member of the Council also, to say a few words to welcome you all on behalf of France. Mr. Le Gret, please. FIFA President, Presidents of the Confederations, ladies and gentlemen, France is truly honoured to have you with us for this Congress. It's the largest football Congress worldwide, the largest Congress, and perhaps for football, but perhaps also for sport more generally. It's a pleasure to welcome all these countries who work constantly for football, for our sport, and allowing it to develop across the world, so that we're able to offer this beautiful game through exceptional work from all the leaders here, and all those who work for our member associations. I'd like to say to the FIFA President how delighted I am to be here and to work alongside him. And I'd also like to say to the UEFA President that I'm delighted to work alongside him too. It's a great pleasure to talk about football with him. And I would really like to express the great friendship for football, the great love for football that we have. No decisions in France are taken without general assemblies. France's voice should always be heard through our General Assemblies, and there shouldn't be interference from anyone else, regardless of who this is. So I would like to thank the UEFA also for its trust, and the UEFA can count on France to be disciplined in the best way possible, and we can talk face-to-face about things that we are less happy with or more happy with, and we can talk with you very honestly, and we appreciate the trust that's been put in us. I'd like to move to the Congress now, and I'd like to wish you a great stay here. Paris is a wonderful city. Paris has done a lot for sport and for football. It's held numerous events, and it will continue to work with you all in the way we have. We don't want to try and teach any lessons. That's not what we do. We want to continue to work hard for everyone across the world. We're seeing how many people are involved in football across the world. We're organising the Women's World Cup. I hope you'll be able to attend. And there's so much interest everywhere. And women's football is becoming a true sport. And it's thanks to FIFA, UEFA, all the confederations. It's a wonderful sport, and I hope that we will achieve that billion TV viewers that we hope to have. We hope it will be a great event. And we hope that through this Women's World Cup, we'll be able to show that girls can play football as much as boys can, and that they have true technical skills. So I'd like to wish you all the greatest success in your work. I know there are plenty of challenges. I'm not all that young. I've been working in football for a long time. Since I was 30. I started working in a small team at that point, and I ended up entering into all sorts of discussions, but I did that in a very honest way. And I'd like to thank, like I said, the UEFA President for his support, FIFA President for his support also. and I look forward to working very hard in my new role. And I'd like to thank, obviously, the Federation for allowing me to be here, and I'd like to just thank you all generally for your presence. Welcome to Paris.
Merci beaucoup, Monsieur Noël Le Graët. Passons maintenant au point 2 de l'ordre du jour, point number 2 of the agenda. The roll call and the declaration of the Congress has been convened and composed in compliance with the statutes, and obviously I will ask Fatma to go ahead. Thank you.
Thank you, President. Let's start with the roll call. Afghanistan present. Albania present. Algeria present. American Samoa present. Andorra present. Angola present. Anguilla present. Antigua and Barbuda present. Argentina present. Armenia present. Aruba present. Australia present. Austria present. Azerbaijan present. The Bahamas present. Bahrain present. Bangladesh present. Barbados present. Belarus present. Belgium present. Belize present. Benin present. Bermuda present. Bhutan present. Bolivia present. Bosnia and Herzegovina present. Botswana present. Brazil present. British Virgin Islands present. Brunei Darussalam present. Bulgaria present. Burkina Faso present. Burundi present. Cambodia present. Cameroon present. Canada present. Cape Verde Island present. Cayman Islands present. Central African Republic present. Chad present. Chile present. People's Republic of China present. Chinese Taipei present. Colombia present. Comoros present. Congo present. Democratic Republic of the Congo present. Cook Island present. Costa Rica present. Côte d'Ivoire present. Croatia present. Cuba present. Curacao present. Cyprus present. Czech Republic present. Denmark present. Djibouti present. Dominica present. Dominican Republic present. Ecuador present. Egypt present. El Salvador present. England present. Equatorial Guinea present. Eritrea present. Estonia present. Eswatini present. Ethiopia present. Faroe Islands present. Fiji present. Finland present. France present. Gabon present. The Gambia present. Georgia present. Germany, present. Ghana, present. Gibraltar, present. Greece, present. Grenada, present. Guam, present. Guatemala, present. Guinea, present. Guinea-Bissau, present. Guyana, present. Haiti, present. Honduras, present. Hong Kong, present. Hungary, present. Iceland, present. India, present. Indonesia, present. Islamic Republic of Iran, present. Iraq, present. Republic of Ireland, present. Israel, present. Italy, present. Jamaica, present. Japan, present. Jordan, present. Kazakhstan, present. Kenya, present. Democratic People's Republic of Korea, present. Korea Republic, present. Kosovo, present. Kuwait, present. Kyrgyz Republic, present. Laos, present. Latvia, present. Lebanon, present. Lesotho, present. Liberia, present. Libya, present. Liechtenstein, present. Lithuania, present. Luxembourg, present. Macau, present. Madagascar, present. Malawi, present. Malaysia, present. Maldives, present. Mali, present. Malta, present. Islamic Republic of Mauritania, present. Mauritius, present. Mexico, present. Moldova, present. Mongolia, present. Montenegro, present. Montserrat, present. Morocco, present. Mozambique, present. Myanmar, present. Namibia, present. Nepal, present. Netherlands, present. New Caledonia, present. New Zealand, present. Nicaragua, present. Niger, present. Nigeria, present. North Macedonia, present. Northern Ireland, present. Norway, present. Oman, present. Pakistan, present. Palestine, present. Panama, present. Papua New Guinea, present. Paraguay, present. Peru, present. Philippines, present. Poland, present. Portugal, present. Puerto Rico, present. Qatar, present. Romania, present. Russian Federation, present. Rwanda, present. Samoa, present. San Marino, present. Sao Tome and Principe, present. Saudi Arabia, present. Scotland, present. Senegal, present. Serbia, present. Seychelles, present. Sierra Leone, present. Singapore, present. Slovakia, present. Slovenia, present. Solomon Islands, present. Somalia, present. South Africa, present. South Sudan, present. Spain, present. Sri Lanka, present. St. Kitts and Nevis, present. St. Lucia, present. St. Vincent and the Grenadines, present. Sudan, present. Suriname, present. Sweden, present. Switzerland, present. Syria, present. Tahiti, present. Tajikistan, present. Tanzania, present. Thailand, present. Timor-Leste, present. Togo, present. Tonga, present. Trinidad and Tobago, present. Tunisia, present. Turkey, present. Turkmenistan, present. Turks and Caicos Island, present. Uganda, present. Ukraine, present. United Arab Emirates, present. Uruguay, present. USA, present. US Virgin Islands, present. Uzbekistan, present. Vanuatu, present. Venezuela, present. Vietnam, present. Wales, present. Yemen, present. Zambia, present. And Zimbabwe, present. Dear delegates, 200 member associations are present. 211 members are present. One member is not entitled to vote. 0 member suspended. 210 members present are entitled to vote. The member association that is not entitled to vote today is Eritrea, because it did not fulfill its obligations stipulated in Article 16, Paragraph 4 of the FIFA status, as not having participated in at least 2 of all FIFA competitions over the period of 4 consecutive years. I hereby, President, declare that the Congress has been convened and composed in compliance with FIFA status, and I would like to hand over the floor back to you.
Thank you very much, Fatma. And I would like you now to listen carefully, because as you just heard from the Secretary General, we have 211 member associations present. 1, Eritrea, is not entitled to vote because they didn't have the possibility to participate in 2 competitions in the last 4 years. We have been discussing this topic at the Council meeting the day before yesterday, and from the Council, unanimously, we would like to ask the Congress to entitle the Eritrean National Football Federation to vote at this Congress. In order for Eritrea to be able to vote, so that we don't have 210 who can vote and 1 who is excluded, but all 211 who can vote, in order to have Eritrea to vote, you, the Congress, the member associations, will have to tell us if you agree. So if you agree that Eritrea may vote at this Congress, you have to vote yes, and for the voting process, I ask Fatma to proceed, please.
Thank you, President. Let me just repeat the instructions. We are going to vote on approval to entitle the Eritrean National Football Federation to vote at the 69th FIFA Congress. Yes, if you agree. No, if you disagree or abstain. For abstention, and always please press the submit button. You have now 15 seconds to vote, and vote starting now. Vote is closed. Let's wait for the results. We have a large majority of yes, 146, and 24 no. So, motion passed, Mr. President. The floor back to you.
Thank you very much. So the motion has passed, and Eritrea can vote as well. This means we have now 211 members present and 211 members entitled to vote. We can therefore move to agenda item number 3, the appointment of scrutineers and members to check the minutes. In this respect, we need to appoint 3 scrutineers to examine the functioning of the electronic voting system and to sign the protocol. We have to appoint 8 scrutineers for the hand voting, 4 to distribute the count of ballot papers, and 5 to check the minutes. The recommendation for the electronic voting system and to sign the protocol is Tonga, Bolivia, and Mongolia. The recommendation for the 8 members that are proposed to serve as scrutineers to count the voting by a show of hands are Mauritius, Cyprus, Maldives, Curaçao, Gabon, Bosnia and Herzegovina, Saudi Arabia, and Mozambique. The recommendation for the 4 members that are proposed to serve as scrutineers to distribute and count the ballot papers for the election of the President are Kenya, Antigua and Barbuda, Kuwait, and Belgium. And the recommendation for the 5 members that are proposed to check the minutes is Algeria, Scotland, Liechtenstein, St. Lucia, and Panama. So this would be our recommendations, and we would like to ask you to vote on all of these recommendations. I pass the floor to Fatma.
Thank you, President. Let me just repeat again. We are voting on approval of appointment of 3 scrutineers to examine the functioning of the electronic voting system and sign the protocol, of 8 scrutineers to count the voting by a show of hands, and 4 scrutineers to distribute and count the ballot papers for the election of the President, and the 5 members to check the minutes. Yes, if you agree. No, if you disagree, or abstain for abstention. You have 15 seconds, and the vote is starting now. Vote is closed. Let's wait for the result. Mr. President, a large majority of yes, 195, and nobody opposed to the motion. So the motion passed, Mr. President. Floor is back to you.
Excellent. Thank you very much. 195. I just remember we have 211 members, so please vote. It's important to vote. Next item on the agenda, item 4, suspension or expulsion of a member. I'm happy to announce that there is no case of suspension or of expulsion that we need to talk about. This means we can move straight to the next agenda item, which is the approval of the agenda. And in this respect, I would like to announce to you that the Council wishes to submit a proposal to alter the agenda, and for this I pass the floor to our Senior Vice President, Sheikh Salman. Please.
Thank you, President. Dear members of the Council, dear delegates of the FIFA Member Associations, dear friends, at the Council meeting held in Paris on Monday, 3rd of June, I proposed to the members to alter the agenda of the 69th FIFA Congress by including an additional agenda, item 11.2, proposal to the amend of the statutes. All members of the FIFA Council unanimously endorsed this proposal. The proposal foresees that if there's only one candidate for the FIFA presidency, the candidate may be elected by the FIFA Congress by acclamation. This proposal will be presented in detail under the respective agenda item. Therefore, the Council recommends the approval of the alteration to the agenda to include additional item 11.2, proposal to amend the statutes. Now I hand the floor back to the Secretary General to do the voting.
Thank you, Mr. Vice President. The instruction is to vote on the alteration of the agenda to include additional item 11.2, proposal to amend the status. Yes, if you agree. No, if you disagree or abstain, and always press submit. The vote is starting now. You have 15 seconds. Vote is closed. Let's wait for the result. Mr. President, here again, a very large majority of yes. We needed 159 and we have 197 positive vote. So motion passed, Mr. President. Floor is back to you.
Thank you very much. So you passed the vote to alter the agenda. Now you have to vote again on the agenda itself, on the approval of the agenda, and for the approval of the agenda in general. I again pass the floor to Fatma.
Let's go for the vote on approval the altered agenda of the 69th FIFA Congress. Yes, no, abstain, and always submit. The vote is starting now. 15 seconds to go. Vote is closed. Here again, Mr. President, we have 202 yes. So motion passed, altered agenda approved. Floor back to you.
Thank you very much. So we have approved the agenda, and we can move straight to agenda item number 6, which is the approval of the minutes of the 68th Congress. These minutes have been checked by the following member associations: Niger, the Bahamas, Germany, Hong Kong, and Paraguay. But the Congress still has to approve them, of course. So for the voting on this point, I hand over again to Fatma.
So, instruction, vote on approval of the minutes of the 68th FIFA Congress in Moscow on 13 June 2018. Yes to approve. No if you disagree, and abstain for abstention. And the vote is starting now. 15 seconds to go. vote is closed. Let's wait for the results. We have 202 votes in favor of the approval of the minutes of the 68th FIFA Congress in Moscow last year. So motion passed, Mr. President. Floor is back to you.
Thank you very much for approving the agenda. I will now move over to the lectern for the President's address. Thank you. Dear friends, today is a happy day. Today is a celebration day. Just remember for a minute, 4 years ago, at the last electoral ordinary Congress of FIFA, or remember 3 years ago, or 3 years and 4 months ago, at the Congress where I was elected. Remember the state of FIFA at that Congress. Well, the last 3 years and 4 months have certainly not been perfect. I have made mistakes, certainly, and I try to improve and do things better. But today, on an election day, nobody talks about crisis. Nobody talks about rebuilding FIFA from scratch. Nobody talks about scandals. Nobody talks about corruption. We talk about football. Well, I think that the very least that we can say is that we have turned the situation around. In 3 years and 4 months, this organization went from being toxic, almost criminal, to being what it should be. An organization that develops football, an organization that cares about football. This is what I meant when I was saying that we have to bring football back to FIFA and FIFA back to football. It's very simple. We just have to concentrate on our mission. We just have to take our responsibilities and focus on our mission, focus on football, focus on developing football, focus on living football. Et alors, chers amis, merci.
Dear friends, thank you.
Merci à vous tous.
Thank you very much to you all.
Parce que
Why?
c'est seulement grâce à vous
It is thanks to
qu'on a pu
you
atteindre ça.
that we have been able to achieve these
Grâce à vous,
objectives.
on a pu
It is thanks to
transformer
you
la FIFA.
that we have been able to
Et on l'a
transform
transformée
FIFA.
en une nouvelle FIFA.
And we have transformed it into a
Une
new
organisation qui
FIFA.
aujourd'hui est
An
synonyme
organization
de
which
crédibilité,
is synonymous with credibility,
d'intégrité,
trust, integrity,
d'égalité, de droits de l'homme,
equality, human
d'engagement
rights,
social,
social
de
commitments,
de professionnalité,
modernity,
de qualité.
professionalism, and
Chers
quality
amis, bien
today.
sûr, c'est moi qui le dis, hein.
Dear friends, of course, I'm the one who's saying
Je suis
this,
pas objectif.
and I am not
Je suis
objective,
très
that is clear.
subjectif quand je
I
dis
am subjective when I say this.
Mais alors essayons d'être
However,
objectifs.
let us try to be objective.
Et regardons ce que nous avons fait
Let us look at our
ces 3
achievements
dernières années
these past 3 years
et 4 mois.
and 4 months, let me add.
Ja, liebe Freunde,
Yes, dear friends,
wir haben Fehler gemacht.
we have
Ich hab's
made
schon gesagt.
mistakes, as I said.
habe Fehler gemacht.
I have made mistakes.
Aber das Wichtigste ist doch,
But the most important point is that we learn from our mistakes and that we should try
besser
to do better the following
Nur wer nichts
time.
macht keine Fehler.
The only people who don't make mistakes are the ones who do nothing. And that, of course, is not an option for me, for us, or for FIFA.
Aber wir haben ja auch ein paar gute Dinge gemacht.
We have done a few good things over the last 3 years and 4 months.
Das behaupte ich jetzt mal.
That is definitely what I believe. Because I can base this on facts and not just words.
Die 11 besten Dinge ausgesucht.
Several times I selected the 11 best things that we did over the past 3 years and 4 months. Again, I am basing this on facts and not words.
Transparenz.
First of all, let me talk to you about transparency. Transparency in monetary terms.
Die Essenz der Krise.
Because that was the very core of FIFA's problem. Today, everything is open, everything is transparent. Have a look at the financial report. Have a look at the governance report.
Sind dicke Bücher.
I do know, and I am fully aware, that these are thick booklets, but everything is in there.
Bei der FIFA
Nowadays, it is not possible at FIFA anymore to make hidden payments or to do something unethical with our money flows. We are all aware of where each dollar is coming from and where each dollar is going to.
für Korruption.
We are fully transparent. There is no more space for corruption at FIFA. Yes, we have a zero tolerance position. Never again.
Nunca más, nie wieder.
Never again.
Unsere Instanzen, angeführt vom Präsidenten der Ethikkommission Vassilis Kouris, ehemaliger
Mr. Skouris, the
des
former
Europäischen
president
Gerichtshofs.
of the ECJ, the European Court of Justice, are supervising
Das,
us,
was geschehen
are
ist,
supervising
wollen wir
our
nie
position,
wiedersehen.
because
Und es muss
our
allen
history
klar sein.
must not be repeated,
Hier in
and that
diesem
has to be
Saal
clear
und
to
außerhalb
everybody, whether
von diesem
in this room and outside this room.
FIFA has today, dear friends, also the most solid financial situation ever. And this coming out of the period of its worst crisis. When I was elected president of FIFA 3 years and 4 months ago, the budget for the revenues of FIFA was at $5 billion. We didn't generate 5 billion. We generated 6.4 billion. 1.4 billion more than what was in the budget, in a period where everyone was saying nobody will want to associate itself with FIFA. Nobody will want to partner with FIFA. Well, we gained the trust of partners and we generated 1.4 billion more than what was in the budget in the period of worst crisis for FIFA. The reserves of FIFA. When I arrived in FIFA, the reserves were at $1 billion. A lot of money. A lot of money. I came with a program of development. And some were saying, well, it's not possible. It's too much money that is being spent. You will have to take the money from the reserves to fulfill your promises to the member associations. Well, I'm proud and happy to announce that the reserves that were at 1 billion when I arrived are not anymore at 1 billion because they are at 2.75 billion. 1.75 billion more than what they were when I arrived. And we did so in multiplying by 4 the investments that we are doing for football development. with the forward program. In the previous cycle, 2011 till 2015, 326 million were distributed to you, the member associations. 326 million out of 5 billion revenues. Your money. I said it when I was elected. Until 2015. We moved from 326 million to 1.1 billion for the period which ended in 2018. Because it's your money, it's the money for the development of football, it's not our money. And we are increasing this again to 1.75 billion in the cycle which has just started now and which will end in 2022. And this is also transparency. And this is also good governance, because we are saying where the money is going. We are not spending it in some dodgy deals. We are investing it where it has to go, to you, to the federations, to football, to development, to boys, to girls, everywhere in the world. And we do this, and this everybody has to know it, by checking exactly what is done with this money. Because 100% of the member associations of FIFA are audited. They're not audited by us. They are audited by an external, independent auditor, all 211 associations, to make sure that the money is going where it has to go. In pitches, in schools, in footballs, in equipment, in competitions, for boys, for girls, for everyone. FIFA is not about money, however. It's about development of football, but of course, we need the money to develop football. And we shouldn't be ashamed of generating revenues and of distributing revenues. It's our mission. What shall we do with the revenues if not invest it in football? And why shouldn't we seek to generate more revenues if we don't want to invest in development of football? What do we want to do with that? Well, we want to invest in football because this is the money for football, and we will want to generate more and more in the future, yes, to be able to invest it all over the world, in 211 countries all around the world. Queridos amigos,
dear friends,
el desarrollo del fútbol
the development of football
es también pasión,
is all
es
about
también
passion too,
corazón,
heart,
es
love.
también abertura y
It's
participación.
about being open, about participating, about taking part.
Y por esto hemos decidido
And this is why
de
we've
ampliar
decided
el número de
to
participantes
extend
al Mundial
the number of
de
participants
32
in
a
the World Cup
48.
from 32 to 48.
No vamos a hacerlo en el 2022,
It's not something we're going to be
pero
able to
sí
do in 2022,
en el 2026.
but we will do it for 2026.
Porque 16 países más
Because
en un
having
Mundial
16 additional countries at a World Cup
es el mensaje más fuerte por
is
el
a
desarrollo del
strong
fútbol. Porque
message
queremos el mundo
for the
en un
development of
Mundial.
football. Because we
Todo
want football to
el
develop
mundo, el
across the
mundo entero.
world, and I mean the whole
Y 16
world.
países más no significa
Having
solamente
16
16
countries
países
more
más.
isn't just about having that number
Significa
more.
50,
It
60
means
países
having
más que
50
tienen una
or
oportunidad
60
real
additional
de clasificarse por
countries
un mundial
having a real
y que van a
opportunity to
invertir
qualify. It means
el
that
fútbol. Y es
these
esto que
countries will
necesitamos,
invest in football, and this
que
is
el
what we
mundo
need.
invierta
We
en
need the
el
world
fútbol,
to
en
invest
nuestra
in
juventud.
football, in our youth, in young people.
Hablando de mundiales,
And talking about World Cups,
hemos también en estos 3 años
in these last
organizado
3 years, we've
el
also
mejor mundial
managed
de
to
la
organise the best
en
World
Rusia
Cup in
el
history
año
of World
pasado.
Cups in Russia last year.
Nos describían un país violento,
We were told it was a
Racista,
violent,
burócrata,
racist, bureaucratic country. That's what we were told about Russia.
Fue todo lo contrario.
And we saw the complete
Una
opposite.
fiesta total.
It was a complete,
Una
it was a
celebración
party, a
total
festival, a
del
celebration
fútbol,
of
porque el
football.
fútbol no divide, el fútbol
Because
une.
football doesn't
Y el
divide
Mundial
people.
une
It unites people. The
el
World
mundo.
Cup brings people together. It brings the world together.
Y entonces tenemos que decir muchas gracias
And so
a
we
Rusia.
need to say a big thank you
Спасибо, Россия,
to Russia. Spasiba, Russia.
haber organizado este mundial
Thank you, Russia, for having
una
organised
manera
this
tan
wonderful
perfecta
World
y tan
Cup. It was
celebrativa.
perfectly organised, and like I said, it was a huge celebration.
Et bien sûr,
And,
en parlant de Coupe du
of
Monde,
course,
on félicite
talking
la
about
France,
World Cups, we need to congratulate
Champion du monde.
France,
Monsieur Le Gret. Bravo
winners of the World
à la
Cup.
France.
Well
Il y a un
done,
pays qui est
Mr.
champion
Legret.
du
Well
monde et
done
210
to
qui ne le
France.
sont pas. Donc,
There's one
bravo
country
à
that's
la
world
France.
champion and 210 that aren't world champions, so we must say congratulations to France.
Speaking about World Cups, dear friends, we have created a new World Cup, a club World Cup. A World Cup for clubs, which is open, which is inclusive, which is global, which gives the possibility and the opportunity for clubs from all over the world to participate. The pilot edition will take place in 2021. We will see where, we will discuss the details, but the decision has been taken. 24 teams in 2021 from all over the world will play to be crowned champion of the world for clubs, because we know that the heart of football is beating with the clubs who train the players, who organize the competitions at national level, at confederation level, and then ultimately at worldwide level. So we need to offer to the clubs from all over the world an opportunity to shine on a world stage for a World Cup, working together with the clubs, with the leagues, with the associations, and with the confederations. World Cup. It's actually a nice word. And it reminds me of another point, of another thing we did. It's number 6, by the way. We organized a bidding process last year. The bidding process for the award of the World Cup 2026. And guess what? Surprise. No scandal. No scandal around the bidding process. Why? How is this possible? Was it not FIFA? No, it's new FIFA. So why there was no scandal? Well, simple. Because there were transparent rules agreed before the start of the bidding process. Because there was an open process. Because each evaluation was clear. Because each document was public. And because each vote was open. And you, the members of FIFA, decided ultimately who has to organize this World Cup in an open vote. So I would like to congratulate, of course, Mexico, Canada, and United States for having won the right to host this World Cup. And I would like to congratulate as well Morocco, who has put on an excellent bid in a fair bidding process. But let's go back to the pitch, because at the end, that's what it is all about, right? Football is played on a pitch. And what did we do in the last couple of years? Well, a few things. For example, we introduced VAR, video assistant refereeing. This is probably the biggest success story of FIFA and IFAB in the last decades. VAR has become integral part of football worldwide in less than 1 year. We used it after testing it for 2 years, of course, in the World Cup for the first time. Because VAR doesn't change the game. VAR helps the game. VAR cleans the game. It helps the referees who have an incredibly difficult job to do. And it brings more justice to the game. And it has been successful in the World Cup. 20 times we had some interventions in 64 games. 17 times the decision was changed. Imagine how the World Cup would have been without VAR. Certainly a different World Cup, but certainly also a World Cup with much more injustice. Now, is VAR perfect? No, it's not. But it's very close to perfection. And actually, if you go and check on a dictionary and look under the word progress, you will find a definition which probably reads more or less like better than before. This is progress. At FIFA, we want to be better than before. We want to make progress. And VAR is, without the shadow of a doubt, a progress. Because we have a whole bunch of decisions which would have been wrong, which have been changed and became right. And that is what we stand for. Chers amis, la FIFA, la nouvelle FIFA,
FIFA, the new FIFA,
signifie aussi démocratie.
Also means democracy.
Écoute.
It means listening.
Entente.
It means
On
working
a
together.
organisé ces 3 dernières années, et vous le savez très
Over
bien
the
parce
last
que
3 years,
vous y avez tous
you know
participé,
this
des
well because
sommets
you've all taken part.
exécutifs
We organised
partout dans le monde.
executive summits across the world.
Pourquoi?
Why
Parce que vous, chers
did we
délégués,
do so?
représentant
Because
211
you,
pays
dear
dans le monde
delegates,
entier,
representatives of countries across the world,
vous n'avez pas seulement une voix pour venir
have
ici au
a
Congrès
voice, not
une fois
only
par an
in the
et
Congress
voter
once a
sur les
year
comptes ou
when you
sur
vote
autre
on
chose.
the accounts or on
Vous avez
other
aussi une voix
topics, but you also have
parler,
a voice to speak,
pour vous exprimer,
generally to
pour
express
donner
yourselves,
votre
to
avis et votre
give
opinion à la
your
FIFA, au président
opinions,
de la
your
FIFA, aux
thoughts
membres
to
du Conseil, à
FIFA,
tout
to
le
the
monde.
President, to members of the Council,
Et
to
c'est pour ça
everyone.
qu'on a organisé
And this is
ces
why
sommets.
we organised these
Parce que le
executive
temps
summits,
où un petit groupe de personnes
because it's no
Gérer
longer
le
a
destinée
case
du
that we
football
have a small group of people
est
managing the
terminé.
future of football.
C'est vous
Those
qui
times
gérez
have
le
come
destinée du football. Et
to an
c'est pour
end.
ça que moi,
You
en tant que
manage
président, que nous,
football,
en tant que
and that
Conseil,
is
on
why
veut
me as
écouter
President,
votre
why we as
voix
the Council want to listen
à chacun
to
d'entre
you.
vous
We want to listen
lors des
to
sommets.
each of you in these summits.
Après, bien sûr, on prendra les décisions
And after that, of course, we will
qu'on
make
doit prendre. On
the
assumera nos
decisions we need to
responsabilités.
make. That's
Mais
our
on veut le faire en vous
responsibility.
écoutant.
But we want to make those decisions having
a
listened
commencé
to you.
À vous écouter
And
avec
we
les sommets
started
exécutifs.
this process of listening
On a
through
créé
the summits.
une commission des parties
We
prenantes, de
created a
stakeholders
stakeholders committee,
Une commission où on a des ligues,
a committee
On a des
where we
clubs,
have the
on a des
leagues
joueurs,
represented, we have leagues represented, we have clubs represented,
discute,
players,
où on se bat.
and we talk,
On se
we
bagarre
argue,
parfois.
we fight sometimes,
normal
it's
parce que
true,
chacun
but that's normal. That's
défend
normal because everyone
ses
wants to
intérêts.
defend their
Et je
different
rappelle à tout le
interests.
monde,
And I'd like to
néanmoins,
remind everyone,
que l'instance fêtière du football mondial,
regardless, that
c'est la FIFA. Donc,
FIFA
encore une
is
fois,
the World Football
on va
governing
écouter tout le
body.
monde.
And we must
On
listen
va
to
essayer
everyone.
de trouver des compromis
We need to find
avec tout le monde.
compromises
On
across
va
the board.
comprendre les intérêts.
We need to understand the different
tout le monde.
interests at play
On
across
n'a
the
pas
world.
peur d'assumer nos responsabilités.
We have no
quand on
fear.
devra
We're not
les
scared
assumer.
of taking responsibility where
Et on
we
prendra
need
les
to,
décisions
and we will make the
qu'il faut prendre
decisions that need to be made
pour l'intérêt exclusif
for the
du football.
exclusive interest of football.
On a aussi, et j'aimerais mentionner
I'd also
ça,
like to mention
signé un accord
that
avec
we
la
have
FIFPro
signed an agreement with FIFPro.
en 2017
We signed this in
Parce que c'est
2017,
important
actually,
d'écouter
because it is
aussi.
crucial that we also
joueurs.
listen to
Il y a
players.
beaucoup de légendes.
And there are plenty of legends
sont là aujourd'hui.
here in the
Je
room
les remercie.
with us today. Thank you for being here.
Parce que la voix de ceux qui ont fait autant
Because the voice
nous
of
rendre
those
amoureux
who've
de ce
done
jeu
so
doit être
much
entendu.
to make us
C'est
fall in love
normal,
with the game
on est
must
là
be
pour ça.
heard also. Absolutely, this is normal. That's what we're here for.
Parlant de partenariat,
And talking of partnerships,
La FIFA a aussi, ces 3 dernières années,
FIFA, over the last 3
engagé
years,
des partenariats avec
has also entered
des
into
organisations
partnerships with
internationales.
international organizations
Parce que la FIFA
because
a un rôle
FIFA
qui va
has
au-delà
a role to
du
play
simple
that goes
football. Il y a un
beyond
rôle social
football, beyond the
aussi.
game, a
Un
social
rôle
role,
social qu'on assume
that we take on board, absolutely.
avec orgueil.
And we
Et
take
c'est
this
ainsi qu'on
role
a
on board
conclu
with pride.
ces 3 dernières années,
And this is why over the last 3
par
years,
exemple, un accord avec
for example, we entered into an
le
agreement
Conseil de l'Europe,
with the Council of Europe,
l'instance qui regroupe
a body
tous les
that
pays
brings together
européens,
all European countries,
qui était en critique de la FIFA,
that was quite critical
Aujourd'hui, il y a un accord
of
de
FIFA.
collaboration
And now we have a
avec le
partnership
Conseil
agreement with them,
de l'Europe.
with the Council of Europe.
On a conclu un protocole d'accord
We
avec
also
l'Union africaine,
signed an MOU
Addis
with the
Ababa, il y a
African
quelques mois.
Union in Addis Ababa a few months ago.
L'instance qui regroupe les
This is the body
55
that
pays
brings together
africains,
the 55 African
parce qu'on va
countries.
travailler ensemble
Because we want
dans
to
des projets
work
d'éducation,
together. We're going to work
dans des
together
projets de
on
formation,
educational projects, on
lutte
training projects,
contre, hélas, la corruption.
and in the fight against corruption.
Moi-même, j'ai eu l'honneur d'être
I had
invité
the honor of being
à
invited
tenir un discours
to
le
give
1er décembre
a
dernier
speech on the 1st
au
of December
G20
last year at the G20
à Buenos Aires.
in Buenos Aires.
J'aimerais remercier
And I'd like
le
to
président Macri,
thank President
pour cette
Macri
invitation.
for the invitation.
le président
to
de la
take
FIFA,
part.
d'une organisation qui jusqu'à il y a quelques
FIFA
années
president of an organisation
était
which
considérée
until
toxique,
up to
je le
recently
répète,
was considered
est
toxic.
invité à
I'd like to
s'adresser
underline that.
aux
I
chefs
was
d'État et de gouvernement
invited
des
to
20
speak to
pays
heads of state of
les plus
20
puissants
countries,
économiquement
the 20
au
most
monde.
powerful countries economically
Pour parler
across
de
the
quoi?
world. To talk about what?
parler de
To
football.
talk about football.
pour parler du rôle du
To
football,
talk about
pour
the
parler du
role
rôle
that
social
football
et
can
économique
play, the
du
social,
football,
economic
pour parler de
role.
l'impact que le
To
football
talk about
peut
the
avoir dans
impact that
notre
football
monde de plus
can
en plus
have
divisé.
across our world, an ever
On
more
est parmi les
divided
seuls
world.
qui arrivons à
We're
se regrouper,
amongst the very
à
few who
unir
manage to
plutôt qu'à
bring
diviser.
people together rather than
Et c'est
to
pour ça
divide them.
que moi, en
And
votre
that is
représentation,
why,
j'ai été
representing
invité
you, I
au
was
G20
invited
pour
to
parler
give a speech
à
at
tous nos
the
pays.
G20.
Notre rôle social,
Our social
on l'assume.
role is one we take very
Et on
seriously.
a lancé un nouveau programme, Football for
And we've
Schools, le
launched
football
a
pour
new
les écoles,
project, Football for Schools,
sur lequel on travaille avec, évidemment, notre
and
fondation,
we're
la Fondation
working there,
FIFA.
obviously, with our foundation,
On
the
y
FIFA
travaille avec
Foundation.
l'UNESCO
We're
et
working
le
on this with
World Food
UNESCO
Programme.
also, and with the World Food
Avec ce
Programme.
programme, on va
And
toucher
through this
700
project, we're going
millions
to
d'enfants
reach
dans le monde.
700 million children across the
700
world.
millions d'enfants dans
700
le monde,
million
dans toutes les
children
écoles.
in schools across the world.
Pas pour qu'ils deviennent tous
And this
des
isn't about them
footballeuses
all
ou des
becoming
footballeurs.
professional footballers,
Pas possible.
girls or
J'aurais bien
boys.
aimé
It's
moi-même
not possible.
devenir
I
footballeur
would
une
have loved to
fois.
have been a professional footballer myself,
C'est pour la
but
prochaine fois.
it didn't work out next time round.
Mais parce que quand on forme un joueur
But
ou une joueuse,
because when
on forme
you
aussi des
train
hommes,
a player,
on forme des
you're
êtres humains, on
also
forme des femmes.
developing women
L'éducation, la
and
formation,
men. This is education,
important
training,
dans nos
development,
sociétés,
and
de
this is
plus en plus
crucial
important.
in
Et c'est pour ça la
society, more and
Fondation de la
more
FIFA veut
important. And that's
focaliser
why
sur
the FIFA
l'éducation.
Foundation wants to focus so
Parce
much
que
on
quand on parle
education.
football,
Because when we
on
talk
enseigne des
about
valeurs.
football, when we
On
teach
enseigne le
football, we
respect,
also teach values.
fair
We
play.
teach respect, fair play.
Le respect de l'adversaire, de l'arbitre, des
Respecting
règles.
those we play against,
apprend à
respecting
gagner,
the
on apprend à
rules,
perdre, on apprend
referees.
des leçons.
We learn to win, we learn to
Pour la vie,
lose.
on apprend
We learn
à
all sorts of
travailler,
useful
à
lessons
jouer
for
en
life.
équipe.
We learn to play as
On
part of a
apprend
team, to work as
qu'il y
part
en
of
a
a
qui sont
team.
plus forts
And we
et plus
learn that
faibles,
there are people who are stronger, people
mais
who are
qu'on peut se
weaker,
soutenir.
but actually we can all
On apprend
support
qu'on
each
gagne ensemble et
other.
qu'on perd
We
ensemble.
learn that we win together,
apprend
that
à
we
se
lose
battre.
together, and we learn to
Et c'est des
fight.
valeurs qui nous
And
servent pour la vie, pas
these are
seulement.
values that are
le
useful in life and not just in football.
And in this respect, we are of course as well fighting against any form of discrimination and for human rights. And we are doing this with facts, not with words. I don't care about committees meeting in a nice five-star hotel and issuing press releases about what we should be doing or not doing. We are acting. This Congress is the evidence of that. Countries from all over the world together speaking and developing football, united. And if we have to choose between sitting in our office and criticizing situations around the world, or going on the field and speaking with the leaders of these countries, or the football leaders, and trying to change certain things, by going on the field, by trying to understand why situations are as they are, even if we don't agree with them, well, football has certainly the power to change certain things in this respect, and we did manage to change certain things without, of course, making a big propaganda out of it. But for the first time in over 40 years, for example, women were allowed in Iran to enter into a football stadium for the final of the Asian Champions League. 40 years. Is it enough? No, of course not. But it's a step. And if you don't go there, if you don't speak with the people, these steps will never happen. Everyone was criticizing Qatar, the Middle East, and so on. Look at what happened. Look at the progress that has been made. Thanks to football. Thanks to the power of football. And we are going to develop this further and further. And this brings us back to France, to where we are, to women's football, because we are at the eve of the Women's World Cup, and to women in football as well. One of the first things when I arrived in FIFA was to set up a women's football division, because it didn't exist. Nobody was seriously caring about women's football. Well, now there is a dedicated division for that. We appointed Fatma, who is here with us, Secretary General. First time a woman Secretary General in 112 years of history of FIFA. And guess what? She's even not European. We have now 4 women in the management board of FIFA. We have 6 women in the council of FIFA. We have 20% of women in all the FIFA committees. Only 20%. Yes, before it was 4%. Sorry. We need to be better. We will be. But we start, we move, we progress. And for the first time, with our new Forward program, Forward 2.0, we dedicate a substantial part of the operational costs for each one of you to the organization of women's football competitions. If you organize women's football competitions, you get the money. If you don't, you don't. C'est la vie. But it's your job to organize women's football. Because you will see that at this Women's World Cup in France this year, we'll have the explosion of women's football. We have a big event. We have 1 billion viewers who will watch it, and they will see that it's actually athletes who are playing, football players with technical skills. And we will be proud of that. You all will be proud of that. So I think we can try to wrap up, probably. These are a few of the things. I don't know if you counted. It was 11 that we did in the last 3 years and 4 months. 11 because 11 is, of course, a little bit my magic number, your magic number as well. And again, these are actions. These are facts. These are not words. And these actions, dear friends, have brought back the trust into the new FIFA. And there is this last thing I would like to mention, which is a little bit of a mindset thing in football. You all know it, but I realized it really only very recently, because it's a mindset that you learn automatically when you play football, but it helps you for your whole life. And it's like this. You've all played. You know it very well. When you win a game, you are in a good mood. You are smiling from one ear to the next. You are in a good mood. You won a game, whatever game it is, at whichever level. You are in a good mood. Until the next game, you are in a good mood. When you lose a game, you are in a bad mood. Right? But you are in a bad mood for a few hours, maybe one day or two. Because you know that soon, next weekend, next Wednesday, whenever, you have the next game. And you start immediately to concentrate on that next game, on that next challenge, because that is the one you are going to win. We all suffer defeats in football and in life. And we have to stand up and go for the next one, for the next challenge. And this is the mindset of football that is part of the magic of football and that makes us and brings us here today. So I would like to finally conclude by apologizing for maybe having been a bit long. But don't worry, this is not the end. Actually, it's just the beginning. Thank you very much. And now let's have a quick look at a video whilst I will drink a little bit of water. Thank you very much. Seite.
Et se donner les moyens pour que son rêve devienne réalité. Ce qui peuvent changer, c'est leur avenir.
In life, nothing comes easy. We have to work very hard for everything that we do. You have to believe in yourself.
Fútbol te abre muchas puertas, te da una alegría increíble.
Thank you very much. And we can move on to the next agenda item, number 8, the activity report. And on this item, I can mention to you that the activity report has been sent to all of you. And I can already announce that on 8.1, there will be a vote to be carried out by our Secretary General on our activity reports. You've heard some of our activities. Fatma, the floor is yours.
Thank you, President. Just 1 second. Before passing on to the vote, I would like to acknowledge your commitment to women football and to women empowerment. And all the women in this room are very proud of your very, very strong stake on empowering women through football. So thank you very much, Mr. President. So now we're going to vote on approval of the activity report 2018, which you all receive. Same procedures applies. Yes if you approve, no if you disagree, abstain for abstention, or if you don't want to vote. Vote is starting now, 15 seconds. And please always press submit to validate your vote. Vote is closed. Let's wait for the results. Mr. President, here again, 193 yes. So motion passed and activity report 2018 approved. Back to you, Mr. President.
Thank you very much. And before passing to the next agenda item, let's have a look at one of the activities of last year, please.
8 years after Russia was awarded this event, the dream finally becomes a reality.
Whoa, what a goal that is! Absolute genius! What a hit from miles out! Messi is denied! Sensational goal! Can you believe it? Germany are going home. They are moving now towards the sharp end. To penalties, and he's done it! England win on penalties! Can you believe it? The favourites have gone!
32 teams have been reduced to 4.
Griezmann with the corner, kicking him, TT! It is Kieran Trippier. It is delicious! Mandzukic! Croatia hit the front! Here is the planet's ultimate game. Pogba! Here's Mbappe! Oh my word! France are the champions of the world!
Beautiful images, and I certainly have enjoyed every single drop of that storm at the end of that match. And I'm sure some others have even more. But thank you very much. A great World Cup, the best World Cup ever. We said it already. Let's move to agenda item 8.2, the activity report and the next FIFA events. To start with, well, of course, the Congress here in France. We'll have the best in Milan on 23rd of September, in La Scala. The Under-20 World Cup in Poland is going on right now. The Women's World Cup in France will start on Friday. In Brazil, there will be the Under-17, October, November, and in Paraguay in November, the Beach Soccer World Cup. So a lot of football coming up. But to give us already now a glimpse on what will happen here in this country as of Friday, I would like to ask on stage Madame Brigitte Henriquez to present to us a little bit about the Women's World Cup. Brigitte, qui est vice-présidente de la Coupe du Monde. S'il vous plaît.
Monsieur le Président de la FIFA, Madame la Secrétaire Générale, chère Fatma, Mesdames et Messieurs les membres du Conseil, Mesdames et Messieurs les membres du Congrès,
and
c'est
members
un
of the
immense
Congress.
privilège
It is a huge
pour moi et
privilege
une grande
for me
fierté de vous
to be here
parler
today.
ce
I'm
matin de la Coupe
extremely
du Monde
proud to be able to
2019 en
talk about
France.
the Women's World Cup in France.
Cette Coupe du Monde 2019 est organisée
This
bien évidemment par
World
les
Cup
équipes de la FIFA,
organised obviously
mais
by
aussi
the relevant
par notre
FIFA
comité
teams,
local
but also by our
d'organisation,
local organising
dirigé par
committee,
Erwan
which is
Le Prévost, son
directed by
directeur
Erwan
général,
Le
et
Prévost,
Bertrand
the-
Paquette pour la
and
partie
Bertrand
tournoi.
Paquette.
Et bien sûr,
For the
soutenu
tournament.
par notre Fédération française de
obviously it's
football
supported
et
by
son
our
président Noël
own
Le Graët et
federation
l'ensemble de
and our
nos
president,
équipes que
Noël
je
Le
remercie
Graët, and of course all
très
of our
sincèrement
teams. And I
d'ores et
would really
déjà.
like to thank them for all their
Le
hard work.
comité local
The
d'organisation à
local
Paris,
organising
c'est
committee in
104 salariés
Paris
basés au 49e
is
étage
made up
de
of
la tour
104 people
Montparnasse, où
who
les
right
équipes
at the
de la
top
FIFA nous ont
of the
rejoints très
Montparnasse
récemment.
tower,
C'est
and
également
50 teams have
180
joined us there
employés sur les
recently.
9 sites
194
des villes hôtes,
employees over the
2500
different sites,
volontaires, dont
2,500
15%
volunteers
qui
are
sont du monde
involved, so
entier, qui sont venus du monde entier
50% who've come from
rejoindre nos
across
bénévoles.
the world
Et
really
également
to join
une
our own
mascotte
French
qui
volunteers,
s'appelle
and
Etty,
obviously
qui est
we
la
have
fille
a
de
mascot,
Footix, qui était
Etty,
notre
who is the
mascotte en
daughter of
98. J'espère que vous ferez
Footix,
des selfies
who
avec
was the
elle.
1998
Mais
mascot.
surtout, cette Coupe du Monde 2019, c'est une grande
And
fierté
this
d'avoir la
World
parité au
Cup,
sein
like I
du
say,
comité
is
local
a
d'organisation.
huge pleasure, and we have, in fact, parity in
Cette
our
Coupe du Monde 2019 en
in our
France,
team.
c'est la 8e édition dans
It's
l'histoire
the
de Coupe du
8th
Monde de la
edition
FIFA.
of
Et
the
le
Women's
président
World Cup
Gianni
for
Infantino
FIFA.
a dit en mars
And
dernier, en nous
President
mettant un tout petit peu de
Infantino
pression,
said
que
last
ce
year, putting
serait
some
la
pressure
plus belle des
on
Coupes
us,
du monde
this
de
would be the
l'histoire
most
du
beautiful
football
Women's World
avec la
Cup
Coupe du monde de la FIFA.
in history.
C'est un mois de compétition,
We
7
have
juin,
a
7
month
juillet,
of
mais
games,
c'est
with
aussi une
7th of
fierté
June to 7th
d'accueillir
of July,
24 équipes
and
du
it
monde
is a
entier
pleasure to have
dans 9 villes
24
prêtes à
teams
rayonner
from a number of different
et
countries
dans
across
9
the world in
stades
9 different
avec
stadia.
Grenoble, Le Havre,
Grenoble,
Lyon,
Le Havre, Lyon, Montpellier,
Nice,
Paris,
Rennes, Reims, le
Rennes,
berceau de la Coupe du Monde, et également
the home of
Valenciennes.
the World
4
Cup in
enjeux
a way, and
forts pour nous,
Valenciennes.
exceller dans l'organisation, rayonner sur tout le territoire pour faire de cet
This
événement une grande fête
organisation, therefore,
populaire,
has carried out across the world,
laisser un
across the
héritage
country,
fort,
and we
mais
want to
également
make sure that we have a
remplir
great
nos stades.
party, and we want to make sure
Ce
that
que
our
nous
stadia
attendons de
are
cette Coupe du
full.
Monde,
What do
c'est
we
un pays
expect?
entier, la
We
France entière
expect the
mobilisée pour
whole
cet
country
événement.
to get
Et je peux
involved
d'ores et
in
déjà
this
vous dire
event.
que la France a répondu
I can already
présente avec nos ligues, nos
say
districts,
that
nos 20 000 clubs, mais également
France,
nos clubs
our
professionnels,
leagues,
puisqu'à la
our
date
professional
d'aujourd'hui,
clubs are
900
very
000
much
billets ont été vendus sur 1,3
involved.
million. Nous avons 10
900,000
matchs
tickets
à
have been
guichet
sold out of
fermé
1.3 already.
en Pays-Bas,
We already have 10
Cameroun,
matches that are
à
completely sold
Valenciennes,
out.
mais également États-Unis, Suède,
Netherlands,
au
Cameroon,
Havre.
Sweden,
Des
US
supporters
in
du monde
Havre.
entier qui
And we have
viennent,
seen support
et
from
à
across
la date
the
d'aujourd'hui, 4 000
world.
billets se vendent par jour.
We're currently
Un
selling
engouement
4,000
médiatique
tickets per
sans
day.
précédent. Nous
And
attendons
great
1
media
milliard de
interest. We're expecting to have 1
135
billion
pays ont
TV
acheté
viewers.
les droits
35
TV,
countries have
et c'est vraiment
brought
une
the
grande fierté de
broadcasting
voir
rights.
aussi que nos
And
chaînes
we're so
TF1,
proud
Canal+ en
to see
France
Canal+,
mettent
our own,
exactement,
and our own
entendez bien, le même
channels
dispositif
being
que la Coupe du Monde
very much
2018
involved and having
pour
the
les
same
garçons.
systems in place as
Et
they
pour
did for
terminer,
the
ce qu'on
men's
attend évidemment, c'est un
competition.
héritage fort, pas seulement pour le football,
This obviously
pour le
will
football féminin, puisque nous étions à
provide
50
great
000 en
legacy
2011,
for
nous sommes
women's
aujourd'hui à
football.
185 000 licenciés. Nous espérons franchir la barre
We
de
have
200
currently
000 licenciés, mais nous
185,000
souhaitons aussi, grâce
professionals
à cette
involved, and we
visibilité,
hope
avoir un
that through the
héritage fort pour le
greater
sport féminin et également
visibility,
pour la mixité dans notre
of Women's
société.
World Cup, that we will have
Et pour
even more
conclure,
interest
bien
and even more women
évidemment, vous
involved
dire que
in the game. Just to conclude,
cette Coupe du Monde, c'est pas
I'd
qu'un
like to
événement
say
sportif,
that this isn't just
c'est
a
aussi
sporting
un rêve
event. It's a
en
dream.
France, mais
It's a
aussi dans le monde
dream
entier pour
for
toutes ces
France. It's a
joueuses
dream for the
qui
whole world,
rêvent
for
et
all
qui sont
these
passionnées comme vous,
players
tout simplement
who
par le
are
football,
passionate
pour
about
jouer
football in the
partout,
same way you all are. They want
tout
to
le temps,
play,
et
they
de
want to play
gagner
all the
des
time across the world, and they want to win
Un
titles.
immense merci,
So I'd like to say a
à notre président
huge
Noël
thank
Le
you
Graët d'avoir
to our
permis
President
ça.
Noël Le Graët for
Un
having
immense merci à la FIFA
enabled this to
pour vous dire
happen.
qu'en France,
Thank you to
c'était juste
FIFA also.
inespéré.
It was quite
Nous savons
unexpected,
qu'en
I
France,
must
il y a eu
say.
un avant Coupe du Monde 2011, un après Coupe du Monde
We had
2011.
World Cup
Sachez
in
que j'en suis certaine, il y aura un
2011,
après Coupe du Monde
and we
2019
have
pour
this
le
one
monde
now.
entier,
I'm hoping
car la Coupe du Monde
that
2019 ce sera
there
la
will be
meilleure
more in the
ici en
future.
France. Bon
I'm hoping
spectacle à
this
tous
is going to be,
et
like
vive
the
le
President
football.
said, the best Women's World Cup in history, and long long live football. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you, Brigitte. And well done. Well done. We're delighted to hear everything that's been achieved so far. And in fact, talking about women's football, we've actually prepared a little video. Let's go ahead with that.
nachezea Gaspar Women. Cause pia nilikuwa captain under 20, pia ilikuwa vita. Estoy en el equipo atlético nacional, también estoy en la selección sub-15.
I didn't know that I was actually capable enough to do football because I can't walk on my own.
La Liga Juvenil Femenina ha hecho el fútbol más competitivo en Panamá. Si jugamos todas las niñas al fútbol, nos hacemos mejores y también más fuertes. Bidii niko nayo ni because nataka kucheza professional football. It's possible kwenda mahali unataka.
Football has taught me to stand up for yourself whenever people doubt you and say, you can't do this, but I actually can do it, just in a different way.
Yes, 3 stories out of thousands of stories that show what football can move, and it moves as well, I think, our hearts. Let's move to agenda item number 9, finance and governance. Great news, as you've heard before. Fantastic accounts. And that's why I will immediately give the floor a Don Alejandro Domínguez, el presidente del Comité de Finanzas de FIFA y mayor responsable de todas las cuentas.
Responsible for the accounts, of course, and all the good news, sharing the good news, of course.
Gracias, Presidente.
Thank you very much, President.
Señoras y señores,
ladies and gentlemen,
delegados,
delegates,
es un verdadero honor
it is a great honor
poder dirigirme ante ustedes como presidente de la Comisión de Finanzas.
Chair of
Poco que
the
se pueda
Finance
agregar
Committee.
a lo que ya
There's
expuso
not
el
much that I
presidente
can add really
Infantino.
to what's been said by President Infantino.
6.421 millones
$6.421
en ingresos.
billion in revenue.
83% de estos
83%
ingresos
of
provienen
this
del
revenue
magnífico mundial
came from the
que se llevó a
magnificent
cabo
World Cup
el año pasado en Rusia.
held
Sin
last
duda
year
el mejor
in
de
Russia.
todos
Without a doubt,
y el
the
éxito
best
más grande
ever and the
de
greatest
ingresos en la historia
success
de
when
los
it comes
mundiales.
to revenue for World Cups.
81% de esto vuelve
81%
y
of this
se reinvierte en el fútbol.
is reinvested in
Y
football.
podemos ver esto en
Comes back
el
to football.
exponencial aumento
And we can see this
en
in the
el
considerable
proyecto y programa Forward.
increase of funds for the Forward programme.
Creo que esto amerita un fuerte aplauso
I
al
dare
presidente.
say we should have a round of applause here for the President.
Paso entonces
I'll
a
move
pedir
on
que se haga la
now
presentación de los
to
estados
ask
y los
that
resultados del
the
año
presentation
2018.
be made
Muchas
on the
gracias.
consolidated financial statements of 2018. Thank you very much.
Gracias, Alejandro Domínguez.
Thank you very much, Alejandro Domínguez.
Y pasamos
And we will now
a la presentación, and I
move
would
on
like
to the
ask
presentation.
Thomas Payer, FIFA Chief Finance Officer, to come to stage to present to us the consolidated financial statement for 2018. You're there? Yep. Thomas, please.
Thank you, President. Dear members of the FIFA Council, dear members of the FIFA football family. Today, it gives me great pleasure to inform you about FIFA's financial situation, in particular about our good financial performance. With the close of 2018 financial year, we have completed the full cycle, and we can draw some very positive conclusions, not only from a sporting point of view, but also indeed financially. You have heard it before, we can report record figures in all key financial indicators. Revenue totaled to 6,421 million, well above the level of the previous cycle and well above our budget. The 2018 FIFA World Cup in Russia was the most profitable edition in FIFA's history, contributing 83% to the total revenue. Expenses amounted to 5,368 million. 81% was directly invested into football, in accordance with our statutes. On the other hand, the strong focus on cost awareness helped to keep our expenses well below budget. The net result stood at 1,201 million, 11 times above the budget, and FIFA's reserves therefore was reaching another new height. I'm confident to inform you today that the FIFA financial position is healthy, strong, and sustainable. Let us now have a look into the details. For the full cycle, revenues amount to 6,421 million. Compared to the previous cycle, revenue grew by 16%. This is a remarkable result, keeping in mind the biggest crisis FIFA was facing in its entire history. Compared to the budget, revenue surpassed the 5 billion initial budget approved by the 2014 Congress by more than 1.4 billion. And as you remember, the FIFA Congress then approved a revised budget in 2016 with the launch of Forward, and even this revised budget was exceeded by $765 million. Here you can see the breakdown of FIFA's revenue by the source of income. TV marketing rights and TV broadcasting rights, and marketing rights are the most significant sources and account for 75% of the total revenue. Ticketing revenue as well showed a positive development for the 2018 FIFA World Cup. More than 3 million people attended the 64 matches, including fans from all over the world. Ticketing revenue in total came to $540 million. FIFA's expenses and investments in the 2015 and 18 cycle are displayed in the slide in front of you. Total investments amounts to 5,368 million, of which 48% was spent on FIFA's competitions and events. Of this amount, 1.8 billion was spent and dedicated to the FIFA World Cup 2018 in Russia. 31% went into development and education. This figure also includes the Forward program in the amount of 1,079 million. 2% was spent on football governance, and in total 81% was invested in football activities. The remaining 19% were expensed in administration and activities linked to our commercial program. Let us take a closer look at the Forward program. This program was first adopted by the FIFA Congress in 2016 and was based on 3 principles: more investments, more impact, and more oversight. The chart displays well the increase in investments. Forward represents an effective increase of pledged entitlements of more than 4 times compared to the entitlements of the previous program. Looking ahead, FIFA keeps increasing its investments into football. Forward 2.0 will increase by more than 50% and underlines FIFA's commitment to reinvest its revenue into football. Let's now come to the net result. This chart illustrates well FIFA's financial model. As mentioned earlier, the majority of our revenue is generated in the year of the World Cup, leaving a large positive net result for 2018. On the other hand, investments into football are made in equal steps in all 4 years of the cycle. In other words, the last year of the cycle is compensating for the first 3 years, which are typically showing a negative net result. The net result for the full cycle amounts to $1,201 million, well over budget. But more important, this strong results builds a solid foundation for future football development, and FIFA has a significant portion in financial assets and reserves available for football investments in the future. Let us come to the detailed 2018 consolidated financial statements, which is presented to you for your approval. As you know, FIFA's consolidated statements are prepared in accordance with international financial reporting standards. Our external auditor, PwC, have audited 2018 financial statements, and they also have been audited and reviewed by the Audit and Compliance Committee, by the Finance Committee, and the FIFA Council. All financial information and details are included in the 2018 financial report that has been distributed to you in advance. From this slide, we can see the income statement closes the year 2018 with revenues of 4,461 million, expenses of 2,891 million, taxes of 29 million, and the income from financial investments in the amount of 93 million. The total net result for 2018 is adding up to 1,814 million. 2018 was also positive from a cash-generating point of view. Cash from operating activities generated a solid inflow of 630 million. The inflow was used to invest into financial assets of FIFA. Cash and cash equivalent at the end of the year stood at $832 million. The balance sheet is a reflection of FIFA's solid financial situation. Total assets amounts to 4.4 billion, out of which an impressive 82% are in the form of cash and short and long-term financial assets. Total reserves stood at a record high of 2,745 million at the end of 2018. As you can see from the historic data, this represents an increase of 80% above the level of at the end of the previous cycle. Let me summarize the consolidated financial statements in a simple way. Despite the big crisis FIFA was facing in the 2015-18 cycle, FIFA has achieved record levels in its revenues, in the amounts reinvested into football, and in our reserves. FIFA's financial position continues to be very healthy and sustainable, and provide FIFA and global football with a solid financial foundation for future developments. With your permission, President, I continue with agenda item 9.2.
Please.
In addition to the consolidated financial statements, the FIFA administration is also responsible for the preparation of FIFA standalone financial statements in accordance with Swiss law and the FIFA statutes. Let us look at the FIFA statutory financial statements for 2018. They are presented in Swiss francs, and the main financials include net profit of 11 million Swiss francs, the association capital and reserves of 102 million Swiss francs, and the reserves for statutory obligations in the amount of 2,634 million Swiss francs. With this slide, ladies and gentlemen, I'm closing my presentation on FIFA's financials for 2018. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Thomas. So I said it, Alejandro Dominguez said it, now you have seen it, black on white, or maybe white on blue. Incredible facts, incredible figures for FIFA and for football. Let's move straight then to agenda item 9.3, which is the report of our auditors to the Congress. I would like to invite on stage Mr. Patrick Balkany from PricewaterhouseCoopers. Mr. Balkany, please, the floor is all yours.
Dear President, dear Vice President, dear Member of the Council, the delegates of the Membership Association. It's my honor today to present the results of our audit 2018. As it has been pointed out from Thomas Paye before, there are two different sets of accounts. On the one hand, the consolidated financial statements, and on the other hand, the statutory financial statements. First of all, I would like to start with the result with respect to the audit of the consolidated financial statements. Our approach has been described and summarized on page 127 and 128 of FIFA's annual report. The three main topics which are described there are, first of all, the materiality, which is based on 1% of the total expenses. Secondly, the audit scope, which covers, in fact, 99.8% of the total revenue and 96% of the total expenses. And finally, the key audit matters. The key audit matters, there are three different ones, and their results have been described and the conclusion on page 129 to 134 of FIFA's annual report. I have no comments to add to our conclusion. That brings me to our confirmation. We confirm that the consolidated financial statement gives a true and fair view, is prepared in line with the international financial reporting standards, and comply with the Swiss law. As I mentioned in the beginning, there is a second set of accounts, the statutory financial statements. We also confirm that the statutory financial statements comply with the Swiss law and the association's articles of incorporation. Therefore, we recommend to the Congress to approve, on the one hand, the consolidated financial statements, and on the other hand, the statutory financial statements. Thank you for your trust and for your attention.
Thank you very much to Mr. Balkany from PricewaterhouseCoopers, and we can move straight to item 9.4, the report by the Chairman of the FIFA Audit and Compliance Committee, Mr. Thomas Wesel. The floor is all yours. Thank you.
Mr. President, ladies and gentlemen, in the last couple of years, we have been a number of reforms within FIFA. The FIFA Forward program provides vital support to member associations to grow football. A compliance function has been put in place to help ensure the integrity of our operations. Bidding process for 2026 World Cup set definitely a new standard for any bidding procedure. And obviously, the Reform 2.0 has shown results already. Nevertheless, I must report today, the Audit and Compliance Committee believes that we are at a potential turning point. We have achieved so much, but now we must sustain and even accelerate our efforts. Although achievements are visible without any doubt, some risks still remain. The excellent financial results should not be taken for granted. We must be effective stewards of FIFA resources. We all have a responsibility to spend FIFA's money wisely and properly. After all, the financial resources which have been entrusted to us belong to football. The funding for the Forward program has been increased significantly. However, this is only one side of the coin. On the other side, the more we invest, the more responsibility we take. Football and its development must be the driver of spending for the Forward program and FIFA as well. The Audit and Compliance Committee seeks to work closely with member associations. We are prepared to support you with any appropriate measures. That is how we can be proactive to prevent possible problems. Regarding the Forward program, the Audit and Compliance Committee measured its success against the effectiveness of the spending and results, of course. In order to achieve the ambitions within the Reform 2.0, there has to be a culture of openness and acceptance for control mechanism. This is like an immunity system for the organization that starts in Zurich and has to be spread around to every member associations. All parts of the control environment, internal audit, compliance, risk assessment, management responsibility, and also the Audit and Compliance Committee activities are useless unless there is a culture that values those instruments. With regard to the financial report, the committee carefully reviewed the 2018 financial report and noted the quality and completeness of this report. Further, the Audit and Compliance Committee finds that the statutory audit report satisfied the independence criteria of the FIFA statute. On behalf of the committee, I recommend to the Congress to approve these reports. In closing, the Audit and Compliance Committee is aware of our important responsibility, and we will do whatever is needed, or in our competencies, of course, to ensure that the money is spent for football. Because football never stops. It is played around the world every minute. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you very much to our chairman of the Audit and Compliance Committee, Mr. Tomáš Vezel, for his report, and thanks to all the members, of course, of the Audit and Compliance Committee for their hard work. We can move now to agenda item 9.5, which is the vote on the approval of the consolidated financial statements for 2018 and of the FIFA statutory financial statement for 2018. And for this vote, I hand once again the floor to our Secretary General. Fatma, please.
Thank you, Mr. President. With your permission, I'm just going to say one word in French. Il semble qu'il y a certaines associations membres, d'après la régie, qui n'appuient pas sur le bouton Submit. Et ce serait bien pour ce vote qu'on ait les 200.
For this particular vote, it would be important for this to be done properly.
Après avoir validé votre vote, il faut toujours appuyer sur Submit pour qu'on ait les 211 votes.
Please
let me now
press
turn
on the
into English.
submit button.
The instruction is the vote on approval of the consolidated financial statement for 2018 of the FIFA statutory financial statement for 2018. Yes to approve, no if you disagree or abstain, but always please press submit, and the vote is starting now. Vote is closed. Let's wait for the results. We are doing a bit better, but still room for improvement. 199 delegates voted in favor of the motion and 1 disagree. The motion is passed, Mr. President.
Thank you very much. So again, don't forget to press submit, whether you say yes or no, by the way. Thank you. So this has been passed. We can move to agenda item 9.6, and we speak about the future. It's the budget for 2020, and also for this agenda item, I would like to ask our Chief Financial Officer, Thomas Payer, to come back on stage and tell us what we are going to do with all this money next year.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. The detailed budget for 2020 is based on the overall 2019 to 22 four-year budget that was approved by the FIFA Congress last year. For 2020, the revenue budget amounts to 484 million. Out of this amount, 319 million, or 66% of the budget, had already been contracted at the end of 2018. On the slide, you can see the different sources of income and the percentage of contracts we have already on the books. The total expense budget for 2020 amounts to $1,108 million, of which 810 million will be spent for football activities and 298 million on administration. For 2020, the pre-tax result is budgeted at a negative 624 million. The negative result is a logical consequence of the steady investments into football, whereas the revenues from the World Cup will be accounted in 2022 only. Therefore, for the full cycle 2019 to 2022, we expect an overall positive net result. I will not go into more details right now. You can find all the details in the financial report 2018. I'd like to thank you for your attention and hand back to you, President.
Thank you, Thomas, for this presentation on the budget. So we need as well to vote on this, and this is agenda item 9.7, the vote on the approval of the detailed budget for 2020. And in order to get this approval, I pass the floor again to our Secretary General, please.
Thank you, President. Instruction, vote on approval of the detailed budget for 2020. Once again, yes if you agree, no if you disagree, or abstain. But please, let us get this time 211 votes. Vote starting now. Five seconds to go. Please press submit. Vote is closed. Let's see whether we will have a miracle here. Almost. So, yes, President, 208 delegates voted in favor. We're doing better.
Very good. We are getting better. We are getting better. Excellent. 3 missing, huh?
Yes.
3 missing. Go and get them. 208 yes, 0 no. So the good news is that the budget is approved. This means the money will not be spent. It will be invested in football projects, invested in the Forward program. And speaking about the Forward program, we have prepared another short video to show you some more stories of what the Forward program does around the world. Let's have a look.
Өмнө нь Монголд хөл бөмбөг бусад зарим нэг спортын адилаар тэмч түгээмэл байгаагүй. Гэхдээ одоо өөрчлөгдөж байгаа.
Creo que una de las primeras memorias que tengo, o recuerdos que tengo jugando fútbol, es en mi patio, pateando la pelota a una pared.
C'est un des premiers sports en Calédonie, le foot. Tous les Mélanésiens ils pratiquent, c'est le sport favori, le foot.
La Mauritanie n'a jamais été connue pour son football, mais les temps changent.
Replástalo. Ça va pas dans le match après on change.
Ces infrastructures sophistiquées nous ont permis de se qualifier pour la Coupe d'Afrique des Nations. C'est un changement radical qui a donné de la confiance.
Thank you very much. This and much more is the FORA program. 941 projects were, before there were 30 to 40 a year. This is football, this is you, dear delegates, this is all your countries. We could show videos like this for a month, showing all of you. Thank you very much for what you are doing. Let's move to the next agenda item, number 10. Election or dismissal of members of the judicial bodies, Audit and Compliance Committee and Governance Committee. There we have a proposal, and the following candidates have been proposed. Mr. Vinayak Pradhan from Malaysia as Deputy Chairman until 2021, subject to eligibility checks, which are carried out right now, in replacement for Sundra Raju, also from Malaysia. And the second proposal is Mr. Melchior Watle from Belgium as a member of the Ethics Committee from the term of office 2019 to 2021. This is the proposal of the Council to you, to the Congress, and I hand over to Fatma for the voting, please.
Thank you, Mr. President. Instruction is as follows. Vote on election of the presented candidates en bloc onto the respective committee for the respective term of office, which shall come into effect immediately. Same procedure applies. Yes, if you agree with the proposal. No, if you disagree. Abstain for abstention, and submit to validate. The vote is starting now. And please, let's get the 211 votes this time, because we are almost there. Please submit. Vote is closed. Oh. So 200 delegates voted in favor of the proposal and one voted against. Motion passed, Mr. President. Floor back to you.
Thank you very much. Motion passed. The two members are elected. So we can pass directly to agenda item number 11, which is the discussion of proposals duly submitted by member associations and council within the period stipulated in Article 21, paragraph 1 of the FIFA statutes. Agenda item 11.1 is the proposal to increase the number of teams from 32 to 48 in the FIFA World Cup Qatar 2022. Actually, on this point, there is nothing to vote about because, as you have heard, we have communicated it last week. We have tried, but we couldn't. Essayer pas pu. You say in French, we wanted to see whether it is possible to increase the number of teams participating in the World Cup already in 2022. And at the end of the day, after a very thorough analysis, we came to the conclusion that, unfortunately, it is not possible. But, as you know, it will happen in 2026, but the 2022 World Cup will be a fantastic World Cup in any case. I would simply like, at this stage, to thank all of you, because we discussed this as well in the summit meetings, for your contributions in this respect. I would like to thank Qatar, the authorities, the Emir, everyone involved for their open mindset. I would like to thank all the countries around Qatar for having listened to us, for having evaluated and analyzed with us the situation. It wasn't possible. It's good. We will organize a fantastic 32 teams World Cup in 2022 in Qatar. And for you, this simply means that today there is nothing to vote about on this topic. Now we can move, therefore, to agenda item 11.2. And since this item concerns the elections of the president of FIFA, I would leave the auditorium now and hand over the chair to my senior vice president, Sheikh Salman. But don't get used to it, I'm coming back. Thank you very much. I see you later.
Thank you, dear President. Please don't go far. Dear members of the Council, dear delegates of the FIFA member associations, dear friends, pursuant to Article 30 of the FIFA statutes, the election of the FIFA president to be carried out at the Congress shall be conducted by a secret ballot. In situations where there is only one candidate for the FIFA presidency, the option of electing the FIFA president with a vote by acclamation would be not only efficient, it's also a procedure that is valid under Swiss law, the law that governs the FIFA statutes. In addition, it's a procedure that is well known in the world of football. For example, the AFC statutes, CAF, CONCACAF, and UEFA statutes provide for the possibility to elect their president by acclamation. For the election of the president, where there is only one candidate, the Congress may decide to elect him by acclamation. Otherwise, if there are two or fewer candidates, a simple majority, more than 50% of the valid votes cast, is necessary. If there are more than 2 candidates, 2/3 of the votes of the member association present and eligible to vote are necessary in the first ballot. As for the second ballot, whoever obtains the lowest number of votes is eliminated until only 2 candidates are left. Furthermore, in accordance with Article 32 of the FIFA statutes, the FIFA Congress shall further decide that the amendments shall come into effect immediately. With this, I'll hand over the floor back to the Secretary General, who will proceed with the vote. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair. Let me now read very slowly his instructions. It's on vote on adoption of the amendment to the status as proposed by the Council, following the explanation given by Mr. Vice President Sheikh Salman. And if this amendment is approved, it will come into effect immediately. We have now very familiar with the procedure. Yes to vote in favor, no if you disagree, and abstention if you abstain, and always press the submit button to validate your vote. And the vote is starting now for 15 seconds. It's time for you to validate your vote. Vote is closed. So, dear delegates, we have 202 votes in favor of the adoption of the amendment to the status as proposed by the Council, and 3 voted against. So the motion is passed with largely more than 3/4 reach on this one. The floor is back to you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Mahatma. In light of the amendments to the statutes approved in the previous agenda item, the Council recommends to proceed with the election of the FIFA President by acclamation. So I hand back to you, of course, for the vote.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. And the instruction comes as follows. You have now to vote, dear delegates, on approval to proceed with election by acclamation. Yes, if you agree. No, if you disagree. Abstention, if you abstain. And always press the submit button to validate. The vote is starting now. Please again, 5 seconds to go. Press the submit button. Vote is closed. Now let's wait for the results. Mr. Chair, dear delegates, the motion has been approved with 202 delegates voting in favor and 3 against the motion. So motion largely approved and endorsed by the Congress. The floor is back to you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you very much. In view of this result, I now invite you, the delegates of the FIFA Congress, to elect Gianni Infantino as a FIFA president for the 2019-23 term of office by a round of applause. Thank you.
So let's welcome President Infantino back.
Thank you so much. Mr. Gianni Infantino is thus elected as the FIFA president for the term of office of 2019 to 2023. So congratulations to Mr. Infantino. Please come to the stage. Thank you.
You can put it louder, the music. Thank you. Merci. Thanks to all of you. Dear delegates, sorry. Let's try with this. Thanks to everyone. Thanks to you, thanks to my family, my friends, all those who love me, all those who hate me. I love everyone today. Thanks for your support. Thanks to all the presidents, thanks to the council members, my vice presidents, the legends here present, Iker, in representation of all of them, as he's the first, I should mention all of you. Gracias por estar. A todos. Thanks to the administration, to Fatma, to Zvone, Alistair, all the others, Matthias, who is probably sending you all WhatsApps at this moment in time. Big thank you. Tack så mycket. Right? Yeah. Je vous en prie. C'est mon cousin. Merci. Dear friends, I'm humbled by your trust and by your confidence. And I'm honored to serve you and to serve FIFA. This is my role. I love football and I work hard. And this is my commitment to you. I continue and will continue to love football and to work hard. With you and for you, with football and for football. Alors, que va-t-il se passer ces 4 prochaines années?
Over the upcoming 4 years, my friends.
Parce qu'il faut bien qu'on continue à travailler.
We do have to continue to work, indeed.
Il y a ce qu'on sait.
So, there are some things that we already know.
On va investir
we will be investing $1.8 billion practically for the Forward Development Program to develop football across the globe. There's another thing that I know. We have 2.75 billion USD in reserves. That is quite a lot of money. We don't need it sitting on a Swiss bank account. That is money which needs to be reinvested into football. And that is why we receive recommendations from our financial department to reinvest approximately $1 billion into football, and we will be doing so in this cycle. We will invest 500 million into women's football. And as we have said before, we will be organizing a fantastic World Cup in 2021. There will be a fantastic World Cup in 2022 in Qatar. We are going to be reforming the transfer system, and that will be a true in-depth reform, maybe even a revolution. It's necessary. Not only FIFA accounts need to be transparent, but also any account dealing with player transfers have to be transparent. It has to do with the image of football. We will continue also working on our social projects. We will be working on the forward school projects because we want to educate both women and men. It is our responsibility. It is the responsibility of every single one of us. It is the responsibility of our trainers, of our educators, and all those who teach children how to play football along with life lessons.
You know me. I cannot stand still and not do anything. It's not in my DNA. And the new FIFA stands for openness and inclusivity, for globality and modernity, for unity and also for leadership. So we will work, and we will work on new youth competitions, because it is important that all young players, boys and girls, have the opportunity to play at the world stage. And to do that, we need to help them. We need to give them this opportunity. We need to organize our youth competitions for boys and for girls in different ways. We need to invest in women's football and women's football competitions. It's not sufficient to simply copy what we do for men's football. Women's football is not a black and white copy of men's football. Women's football is a sport in itself. And we need to create competition dedicated to women's football. And we will take the impetus from this Women's World Cup here in France to develop this further. We will work on the international match calendar, of course. An international match calendar which will focus on the interests of everyone, the leagues, the clubs, the players, the associations, national teams, the confederations, their competitions, FIFA, the world. Because football is global, that's what everyone says. We have to make it global, though. We have to work harder to make it really global, and not just a sport for a few. It is a sport for everyone, and we will work hard to achieve this, and these measures that I was mentioning are going into this direction. We'll work on our organization, on FIFA, on our structure, on making it more efficient, on making sure we can take decisions in the interests of all of you, in a swift way, in a rapid way, listening to you and deciding and taking the lead and defending football and defending our and your interests. We will invest in digital transformation of FIFA, of FIFA and of the world of football, because what we will invest is for you, and everyone will benefit. Because digitalization means also globalization, and for a global sport, the only true global sport like football, this is the way forward. This means also to be a little bit disruptive. Of course, we will be disruptive. It's normal, because we want to change things. We want to bring things forward. And I repeat it, to do all this, we will consult. We'll consult all the associations, all of you, and we'll consult all the stakeholders. And maybe we should do something similar to what we do in the next 2 days here in Paris with the Women's Football Convention. We should organize a big convention on world football, les assises du football mondial. A big convention where everyone can participate and where we can seriously discuss where do we want to go with the football in the 21st century. What do we want from it? How can we protect the top, and how can we protect the grassroots? We need to discuss this, and we need to take decision and not let the situation regulate itself. It is our duty at FIFA. It is my duty as FIFA president. It is my duty to make sure that football is played from Oceania to Asia, to Africa, to South America, North America, Central America, Caribbean, and Europe, everywhere in the world, everywhere where I have been and I will be, together with you. So let's discuss all these matters, because we shape and we will shape our future together. And then we will take our responsibilities. We will take our decisions. We hope we take the right ones. We are quite confident, because we'll do it in the interests of all, not just a few. And we will do it in the interest, and that's the most important thing, of football. Well, this is for the future. For now, we are here. We celebrate. We will celebrate women's football here in France with the best World Cup ever that will be organized from the 7th of June to the 7th of July. Thanks again. Merci beaucoup. Shukran. Dankeschön. Gracias. Vive le football et vive la FIFA. Merci. So, these were my closing remarks, actually, as well. So I would propose that before concluding, we have a look at the last wrap-up video, please.
It's all for you. December.
la FIFA est une réunion incomparable, singulière, dont vous pouvez être fiers et qui sera toujours la bienvenue en France.
It's time to shine, slogan of the World Cup. For us, it's time to conclude. Before we conclude, again, thank you very much. Don't forget that there is a lunch served just outside. I'm sure there is some champagne maybe as well somewhere, since we are in France. Before concluding and giving you the information on the next Congress, I would like just again to thank all of you for coming here, for having participated, all delegates, presidents, general secretaries, everyone. Thank you. Thank you very much. And all the guests, the legends, I repeat it. The first one who sent me I tell you a little story because we have a bit of time. You know who sent me the first SMS when I was elected president on 26th of February 2016? The first SMS. I received, I don't know how many, but the first. Mr. José Mourinho, who is here with us today. Muito obrigado. So thank you really to all of you. It means a lot for me that you are here, our chairman, Pierluigi, Thomas, Mr. Balcani, the league's representatives, Filippia, Christian Seifert, Florentino Perez, muchas gracias. Thank you for being here. I really love you all, but now we have to conclude. We'll have time to celebrate all together. The next Congress will take place in Addis Ababa, in Ethiopia, the headquarters of the African Union, in May of next year. The precise date is still worked out depending on the availability of the location. It is a very iconic location. It's the headquarters of the African Union, their hemisphere where the heads of state of Africa meet. We will have our Congress. So with this, I'm looking at Fatma, we concluded. Thank you very much. The Congress is closed. Enjoy Paris.